Hi Truth Hunters, and welcome back to the Dig Lab. Let's see what's in the tree for us to remake today. Look! There's a sand sample in here. We know that sand can be really helpful in learning about the people who lived in history, but I don't think this is what we're going to be making today. Wow! Look at these gemstones. They're just beautiful. There's a green one and a blue one and a white one. And there's all different kinds of gemstones, gemstones that sparkle. We find these on archaeological digs all the time. And you know what that reminds me of? The fact that Jesus rose from the grave, like our Bible story told us today, that's a miracle. And knowing that is a treasure, just like these gemstones are. Today, we are going to be making seek and find stones. We're going to be hiding gemstones like this, in sand like this, and then looking to find them a little bit later, a couple days later actually. This can remind us of our theme verse, Jeremiah 29:13, where God says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart." So we're going to be seeking these gemstones, just like we've been seeking Jesus this week. Let's go figure out how to make this craft. Today we are making seek and find stones. We will be using a mixture of glue and sand to make a rock-like mixture, putting gemstones in that and letting it dry. In a couple days, once it's dried, you will be able to crack open your seek and find stone to find the gemstones. Step 1, because this is a messy craft with the sand that we're using, you're going to need to use some material to line your table to make sure you don't make too much of a mess. That could be newspaper, you could use garbage bags. I'm using this blue piece of paper. The next step is you're going to grab your plastic cup and your sand bag. You're going to fill your plastic cup with some of the sand from your sandbag. Now, depending on how big you want your seek and find stone to be, that's how much sand you're going to want to put in. So I'm just going to put in about this much sand. Next up, we are going to be adding glue to our mixture. So this is an important step because you don't want to dump in all your glue all at once, because then your mixture will be too wet to dry in time. So instead, you're going to go slowly and bit by bit add glue. I'm using some glue that's probably bigger than the glue you have in your kit. But regardless, little by little, you're going to pour some glue in. So I'm going to pour a little bit of glue in, not too much. There we go. And then you're going to take your utensil and you are going to stir the mixture together like so. You're going to keep stirring until you see no loose sand particles left. So you can kind of see at the very bottom of my cup that there's some loose sand particles. So I'm going to keep stirring and stirring and stirring until the glue mixture is all one mixture, all together. Awesome, just like this. There you go. You can still see a bit of loose sand, so you can push down that gluey mixture into the bottom. Now, if you've put too much glue in, feel free to add a little bit more sand to make sure that it can dry in time. So your mixture will look a little bit like this once you're finally done. And you're going to scrape off the sides of your utensil into your cup. The next step is you are going to take your gemstones. So for this one, I'm going to use a little green gemstone, and I'm going to hide this gemstone in my rock mixture. So I'm going to make a hole, and I'm going to press it in, and then cover it over top. Now you can use your hand for this. You can use your utensil for this. What you want to do is you want to pack it down so that you can't see your stone anymore, just like this. Then you're going to pack down the rest of the mixture around it, getting as much of the mixture off the sides as you can. Using your hands, you can wear gloves if you're scared of getting messy, just like that. So see how my stone is hidden? Now, you are going to set this aside and let it dry for at least 24 hours. All right, we want to let it dry so that when we dig into it, it's a fun time. So I've made one yesterday and I've been letting it dry. So once your Seek and Find stone is all dry, remember at least 24 hours, you can use some scissors to cut it open like I've done. So let's open it up and see what's inside. We're gonna empty it just like this. And mine's a little bit wet still, so I could have let mine dry a little bit more, but for our purposes, it still works. It's nice and hard on the bottom. So next up, it's time to seek for your gemstones. So you can take the same utensil that you used yesterday and start breaking it apart, looking for the stones that you've hidden. And it's a fun little example of an archaeological dig. I think I might have found something. Wow. Look at that. I found my first gemstone. That's awesome. So if you've only put one gemstone in, that's how you can find it. Otherwise, you can keep looking and finding your other gemstones. But this is our craft for today, a Seek and Find stone. I hope it reminds you of our theme verse, and I hope you have a lot of fun with this messy craft.